Welcome to Conversations with Jen and Mel. This show is about real life with real people, having real conversations, from better health to mental health and more. Let's check out the conversation right now with your host, Jen and Mel.
Welcome to today's episode of Conversations with Jen and Mel. Today we are talking about damaged goods.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so I just need you all to know. You see I'm wearing the black hair today. I'm not sure what you think about the dark hair today. You know, I normally like my blonde bombshell Barbie look, but I'm feeling a little more almost into my natural kind of flow. Not really, not yet though. I'm working on it because I think I want to transition and do dark for a minute. Change is always good, right? Ladies, you feel me. All right.
Yes,
Change
is good.
Change is good.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. So we're talking about damaged goods, but we're talking about the guys first. So part one, damaged goods. What does that look like in a man in a relationship? Ding, 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 ding. Hold on. Damaged goods. When? Hold on. Hold on. When you don't answer and he's calling you back to back. Bro, we just started. Bro. We just started. So, wait a minute. Is that damaged goods or red flags or both?
Probably both. It can be both.
It could be both.
It could be both.
Wait a minute. It's red flags that he's damaged goods.
Yeah.
Run. So, ladies out there, if you fooling with old dude and you think he's just interested in you because he like you so much, but dude is blowing up your phone, warning comes.
I would say that's a yellow flag.
That's a yellow flag.
It doesn't
blowing up the
always
phone.
mean-
Blowing up your phone. He ain't got no self-control. I mean, he can't even sit on it. You can't even fake it a little bit. Look control.
It does come off as controlling. So if
Impulsive.
you're doing that,
Impulsive.
you need to figure out what's motivating that behavior.
Mm-hmm. Some ADHD.
But I don't think it's always a red flag.
Some personality disorder.
It might be cueing you in to know that he has some control issues. Mm-hmm. He has some impulsivity issues. Mm-hmm. That he has some insecurities. Mm-hmm. That he is blowing your phone up back to back to back to back to back.
Did she say back to back to back to back to back? Run. Run. Mm-hmm. He couldn't just leave a message and say, babe, thinking about you. Call me when you get a chance. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Damaged goods. Mm-hmm. So what else is okay, blowing up the phone. What does damaged goods look like in a relationship? So I got this story, and I don't know if I told you all this story before, but okay. I had to have been about, I want to say I got saved at 22, so I was probably about 19-ish. And by the time I got finished with this relationship, I was damaged goods.
Uh-oh.
But this guy he would cry. He would do everything wrong and cry. I mean,
like when he got caught, he would cry?
What
was he crying for?
He would get caught and cry. He would cheat, get caught, and cry. It was a habitual cycle. At first, I was like, real uncertain about those emotions. Mm-hmm. I wasn't quite sure how to feel. Then I was like, this nigga a girl.
Oh.
Then later found out he probably was part girl. But
see, I want to know what happened. What's going on in his childhood? And what did that get him out of when he would cry?
Mm-hmm. So, I think that the trauma and the damage took place in his childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the outbursts in the relationship were just the evidences of unhealed trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So he was damaged goods. Only started from his childhood. You know, started from his childhood.
Okay.
So what else? What are the signs that you we were talking about red flags, but what are some of the things that say, okay, this guy might be damaged goods? I would think instability. Like, dude, you can't, please, I should have got that message. Oh, Lord have mercy. We're having this conversation. I've been having this conversation about a decade and a half too late. I needed this conversation about...
The Bible calls it a double-minded man.
A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. But I mean unstable, like, dude can't keep a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely damaged. Because why you can't keep a job?
Why can't you keep a job?
Why you have 17 jobs?
Why you got all the
in
skills
6
in the
months?
world and you got 17 jobs in 6 months? Why every time you get a job, you get fired?
I have a friend who was dating someone for probably about a year. In the course of that year, he had 6 different jobs. He could not stay on a job for more than maybe 45 days before he was getting into it with somebody.
And so I think that there's a certain period in your life where you're experimenting, right? You know, you're trying to figure out, okay, where I fit in, what do I like, what am I good at? I understand that. But when you keep getting the same job in the same field, but you can't stay nowhere but just several days.
You got fired everywhere you go because of your attitude or your temper.
Oh, yeah. That. All right.
Damage.
Instability. He moving around all the time. Have mercy. Woof. Okay, so I'm gonna need y'all to relabel this conversation. Y'all probably need to label this the Talks That Mama. Y'all need to go back and watch some of these shows and share with some friends. Please share with some of your daughters. Share with some of your young people the conversations that mama should have had but didn't have, because it's some red flags that we've been ignoring for a very long time, because I ventured down the wrong path with some of these red flags, and I'm having this conversation, but I'm like, dang. If somebody told me what, I would have paid attention.
Maybe not.
I don't know.
That's another conversation.
But nobody told me.
They didn't tell you?
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
Maybe they didn't tell you.
No.
I was told a whole lot and was doing my own thing.
Yeah. Nope.
But how else does being damaged show up in a man?
So you think damage would include being selfish? Maybe not.
I mean, it depends on what. If you're looking to be in a relationship and you selfish, that's going to definitely be problematic. Does it make you damaged? I don't know.
The inability to be selfless.
It's going to be a red flag. It's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm. So it is damaged goods, as in, okay, well, okay, so maybe he's not damaged. Maybe he's just inaccessible goods.
Inaccessible
goods. So if he has the inability, ladies, you do not want a man that has the inability to be selfless. Like, he does not have the ability to put you first. You don't want a man who can't compromise himself, or better yet, one that's throwing his money at everything instead of him.
Right.
He's throwing you his money, but it's time. See, so many women fall in love with what a man does for them before they fall in love with who a man is to them.
But where does that even come from?
So, gifts. They like the gifts.
I know how it shows up, but is that like societal? Telling women that the man, if he don't provide or he not doing for you, or is that more personality driven?
I think it depends on the man. I think some men acts of service is just a love language, you know.
Okay.
And so they're always doing something. They're always giving something. They're always, providing gifts and whatever. Is it? Mm-hmm. And so then you have other men where they're really not going to do too much for you. Actually, if you ask them for too much, it's going to be a problem to them.
Yes.
But they may throw you their money at it and just enough to string you along. And so now are we talking about damaged goods or are we talking about inaccessibility? Because it sounds like this whole conversation is going into what you should avoid. Avoidances, maybe? So let's
are gonna be avoidances because you don't want to be with somebody that's damaged.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, we are damaged.
I would not say that. I don't buy into that. I don't accept that.
She says she doesn't.
I don't accept that.
She doesn't say.
Okay. We all have come with stuff. Everybody have their stuff, but everybody is not damaged.
So I was born in sin. I was shaping in iniquity. I came here with a default. We've been damaged since the fall. That's why Jesus came.
That is why Jesus came for my soul. But that when I'm looking to enter into the relationships or being a mom or whatever, I don't think that it necessarily means that I'm damaged.
All right.
We all was born in sin. You cannot avoid that.
All right.
And Jesus came to save our soul, reconcile us back to Him.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
But
name one person you know that
ain't damaged.
And in that DSM.
How you? Oh wow. Again, everybody has some traits, but everybody don't have a diagnosis. Everybody is not clinically having issues. No, ma'am. No.
So I remember when we were in school, we had to go through the book and diagnose ourselves. I was like, dang, everybody I know is in here.
This is the danger of having so much information on the internet because everybody wants to diagnose themselves. There is a clinical diagnosis and everybody is not clinically diagnosed. No.
So red flags. What else? See now.
So
red flags. Okay, this is a serious red flag for. When I tell you this is nasty, but it is what it is. Hey, listen, I'm a therapist. We just get to talk about
we
whatever.
don't heard it all.
We get to talk about whatever we want to talk about. So we talked about everything from sex to aliens to dead people walking. I'm sorry, it just is what it is. The life of a therapist. So conversations with Jen and Mel, where nothing goes unheard, unsaid, unseen. It's crazy. So, red flags.
Can I go back? Because we did an episode a couple weeks, months, whatever ago, and we were talking about, I don't know, we were talking about finding the right one, or maybe it was red flags, I don't know, but I forgot to mention being tight with your money.
Red flag.
That is like
She said extremely frugal. Cheap.
Extremely
red flag.
frugal, whatever you want to call it.
Red flag.
That is a red flag.
Red flag.
Yes, for sure.
She said stingy. Stingy. Okay, so here's another one. Y'all ready? Red flag. So what have we named so far? We talked about red flag. We whatever. Y'all let us know what we named because y'all know.
Damaged.
Red flags, damaged goods, damaged goods.
To me, damage though goes deeper than having a red flag.
Okay.
If I say a dude is damaged or a female is damaged.
Okay, so here, let's go deeper. I'm ready. I'm ready for the conversation. So let's go deeper. So we're talking about damaged goods. Now we're talking about the soul of a person. We're not just simply talking about the personality. So let's shift and go deeper. So we've been talking about surface things. So now let's talk about the need for excessive validation. You know, and so that need for constant affirming or the constant belittling of self. Damaged goods. I don't know if that is necessarily always a red flag, but it is definitely a sign that the person is damaged.
Yes.
All right, so now we're shifting. We're shifting. We're going a little deeper. Let's dig a little deeper. So what else are some signs of damaged good? Impulsivity. When someone is an emotional eater. When someone is an emotional shopper. When someone is an emotional drinker. When someone has things that instead of them dealing with their emotions, they suppress them and express them in other ways.
Yes.
And so and every time you talk about a sensitive subject, they retreat. But then you see them manifesting in their behaviors, damaged goods. And sometimes it happens in their childhood when they're not able to, as children, in situations, they haven't learned how to express their emotions or weren't giving an environment that was safe enough for them, because especially with men, because they're taught to be strong. They're taught to be tough. And so when they haven't learned how to the point where they're not waiting for the right time anymore, because it's one thing when holding back, waiting for the right time, and then being wise enough to steward their conversation. That's what steward their conversation. So it's one thing being able to steward the conversation, but it's another one when there is no conversation.
Right.
Avoidance. So I avoid, I'm suppressing, I'm internalizing, but then I'm exhibiting all these other all these areas that saying, okay, well, something is obviously wrong, but I've said nothing, because people aren't psychic. And so the problem comes into damaged goods as in, how can I help you if there's no conversation?
All right.
Well,
a lot of people fall into that fight or flight mode. So if you say something I don't like, I can't process it or express that hurt my feelings, or I felt inferior, or I just didn't like it. I would prefer you not do that.
Oh,
instead of being able to express that, it either comes out physically or verbally attacking, or they just take off. They out.
So one of the things I have been so blessed to have is the moments when is to have a man that in certain moments he can express how he feels. I mean, it doesn't always feel good.
Like butter.
But it doesn't. But even when there's the criticism, he'll say, "Babe, I don't know what encouraged that conversation, or I don't know why you felt the need to have that conversation, or the way you had that conversation, or I don't like the energy in which you had that conversation, or I didn't like the way that conversation made me feel." I'm like, what? But who, me?
Okay.
So
you be feeling like that's a man.
Girl,
I know you do.
That's a whole king. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. He is a whole king.
Yes.
Yeah, I ain't gonna even say his whole name, so y'all will be looking him up on Facebook.
Okay.
You hear me? I really, really, really believe that we have a lot of men out here that we call them whores.
Okay, I'm so glad you brought that up because that was going to be my point as well.
And so we call them whores.
Yes.
We think that men are hypersexual. And I really think that a lot of men are damaged goods. And I really think that they're looking for that human connection and someone that they can really make a connection with. But the issue is the quickest way to have any type of intimacy, and we've talked about this before, is through sex.
Yes.
It's sexual intimacy. That is the quickest way to achieve intimacy, but they're looking for something deeper. And so they keep making these exchanges because their soul isn't satisfied.
Right.
Because what they're looking for is going to require them, but they have their guard up. And they're so damaged and so busy covering themselves up that they won't let you in.
Yes.
And so I think...
Now, some men will argue that is a natural part of their drive. It's on like 1,000.
What?
Their sex drive.
Their sex drive is 1,000.
It's on 1,000.
So let's just talk about this.
Rate it from 0 to 100. They at 1,000.
It's too many men out here.
But so the point I was getting ready to make is that when you have a man who is not able to control his sexual desires, and he's so busy planting seeds everywhere
and putting in the
you
work.
got 5 baby mamas.
Wait a minute. Planting seeds everywhere and putting in the work nowhere.
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 Oh, we out. Out. Dang, Melanie.
Use women to masturbate. Stop it.
I would consider that to be damaged.
That's damaged. That's damaged. Seriously.
Because you don't have control and you don't take responsibility or the accountability to really...
You don't have control and you don't have control.
There's one thing to make them, but somebody got to raise them.
Mm-hmm. And so I think that for a long time, and we have to really deal with that because societal norms are something else. And the standards for men and women, and we're talking about men, we make it acceptable and we still have all these stigmas attached to women being whorish, calling them hoes and loose and rats and whatever else. And it'd be okay for a man to not think enough of himself to guard his body, but she should take better care of hers.
But
so
it's a new movement out about men
really
abstaining, yes, and seeing themselves as a prize. I'm gonna say
that is it
as a prize also.
So we have. Society itself has caused so many people to be, for generations, let's say, be damaged because we have accepted and tolerated this nonsense. Yeah, I'm a Christian, but I want to say that you mean everybody get access to you? In what world is everybody worth touching you? Were you accessible to everyone? To everyone? To everyone that wants an opportunity? You just all free game? You not somebody's man? You community man? I'm just saying.
And we see that way too often in the church.
And we see it way too often.
Stop.
In the church and period. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. And so, well, damaged goods. But wait a minute. True story. Some of the damage, we want to point back, but some of this stuff was handed down generationally.
Yes.
Some of these influences of dysfunction and where these norms came from and these standards, we had none. We had no standards. We accepted this as truth. When you really think about it, it means anything that is of extreme value, everybody can't handle. They don't let everybody go and test drive a Rolls Royce. So how do you value yourself? So ladies, I don't mean to be funny, but heads up, if a man before, and I don't know how far into this is going to record, but if a man is sending you pics of his body parts before he know your last name, warning.
That's a warning.
Damaged goods are just not your goods or everybody's goods.
Right. Well, that is Damaged Goods Part 1. Stay tuned for
We
Damaged
always
Goods
has
Part 2.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Conversations with Jen and Mel. Please join us every Monday at 8 p.m. for new episodes on Facebook, YouTube, Rick.tv, and the Rick TV app by way of Apple TV, Fire TV, and Roku. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Join us again next time on Conversations with Jen and Mel.
Dreaming of your own TV show or podcast? Now's your chance to turn that vision into reality. Right here on Rick TV. On Rick TV, your voice isn't just heard, it's seen. Broadcast your content to the world on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. That's right, your show, your brand, your spotlight, stream to millions. Whether you're a business, artist, speaker, or influencer, we give you the platform, the tools, and the exposure. Create it, stream it, own your moment. Contact us today at 2485-139933. Get started today with Rick TV, where your vision comes to life.